Good morning, and thank you for tuning in. Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. Jump on, say hi, let me know where you're calling from, where you're watching from. It's Friday morning, early here, and we're going to get started. So just hop on, let me know who's on. Takes a few minutes, I know, to see the comments, but I'm so glad you could join me. Is anybody up with me yet this morning? It's not even that early. Well, somebody's on, but they didn't leave a comment, so we're going to get started. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. Good morning. Excuse me, Winnie Ann. Good morning, Stacy. I knew Stacy would be on bright and early. Thank you for tuning in. And today we are going to be, I'm going to be showing you the On the Horizon or the New Horizons Suite. There we go. Deborah, Linda, thank you so much for tuning in. So let me flip the camera and we're going to get started. If you'd like to place an order with me, this is my host code. You can go to Stampersdelight.com and order. If you'd like to order any of my online classes, they are on the Stampersdelight.com blog, and you can just go to Linktree/Stampersdelight to pay for any of that, or to find all my links on social media. Hi, Christine. Hi, Vicki. So today I am going to be working on the New Horizons Suite, which is on page 42 and 43. Don't forget, we're already halfway through just about Celebration. That goes through February, and you want to get in on this because you definitely want to get some of these free goodies with qualifying orders. Good morning, Teresa. We missed you at the team chat last night. I hope everything's okay. And the other item I want to remind you about, in the back of this, there is Join the Creative Community. That's the starter kit for $125. For $99, you get $125 of merchandise, your choice, plus 2 extra stamp sets of your choice, and all your business supplies. So it really is a good deal if you'd like to join the Stampin' Up! Community and my team, Stampers Delight. We had a team chat last night. They're usually about an hour. Went over like an hour and a half because we get chatting, we get sharing, and it's just amazing. The other thing I want to remind everybody is this is my February online class. There's 3 different options. If you'd like to join that, you can just go to that Linktree/Stampersdelight and pay for that class, whichever option you choose. Also, the Sweetalicious Funfold Club, Donna Gray and myself are sponsoring. This is a Facebook page, and it's $40 US. That's every month. $40. You get the designer series paper, embellishments, and ribbon to a suite that we are showcasing that month. And each one of us, Donna and myself, will do a fun fold, and we'll give you 3 different ideas with that fun fold. Okay, and as long as you purchase that every month, you will stay in the group and you will have access to that. As long as the group stays open, which we plan on having it stay open forever. And Vicki wants to know how retirement is going. I'm absolutely loving it. Loving it, loving it. So don't forget the Sweetalicious Funfold Club. Don't forget the February online class. And let's go back. Okay. So on the horizon, this is the stamp set. And then we have these gorgeous dies. This is the kind of stamp set that just does not need a fun fold, but hey, if you want to do a fun fold with it, that's great. I did not do a fun fold this time around. I just fell in love with the papers, and truthfully, I can just use the papers. Hey, Darlene, your retreat is waiting for you and your order and your online class. So here's all the different pieces to this. These two layer up together, just so you know, and you'll see that for the mountains. You've got this part right here, which I use as like a lake for water. And then, of course, you've got the mountains this way, or you can use it. You can mix and match these. So really a great stamp set bundle. With that, you get with the bundle, you get the pebbles. You get the ribbons, the two ribbons, the pink and the Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight's going to be retiring, and I love that. That's one of the ones that retires this year. And then here are all the papers. These papers are absolutely gorgeous. They have two sides, and you can look at any single one of these and see a scenery. You'll pick it up today. Okay, Darlene. Well, thank you for joining in all those classes. I know I have a lot of classes going on, but that's why I retired, so I could do this. Okay, so look at all these sceneries. All right. So let's just move this out of the way for now. One of the things I love about the 6x6 paper, when I cut it to go onto a card, I always have this strip left over, and I can always use that for my envelope. All right, so let's see the samples that I have to show you. Put that all together for now. Some of the other things that you're going to see that I used was the In the Moment stamp set, one of my favorites. You're going to see the Grassy Grove, also used with the New Horizon bundle. You're going to see that I used the Timber embossing folder, and I even used the Bouquet of Love embossing folder. So those items will be in the description when I'm done. Okay, without further ado, the first card, which I like to call my sweet and simple card, or sweet and simply sweet, because it is a great card. You can see that I used that background paper. All I did was stamp on that. Hi, Janelle. Hi, Angie. Hi, Megan. I added the fencing. This is where I used that timber embossing folder, so it gave it a wood look. Stamped it there and added some of the pebbles. Yeah, Susan, definitely one of my favorites. And, of course, inside, relax and enjoy your day. That's all there was to it. I layered it with some white and then the Blackberry Bliss. Great card, quick and easy, but it comes out so nice. The next one I did, I used some of the other colors in that pack. I added that die with the trees back there. Again, there are my fences with some pebbles over here. I took the sentiment with that background and I made it into a little sign. So it looks like it's supposed to be hanging. Thank you, Janelle. Definitely share my videos. Good morning, Yvette. It was so nice to have you on the team chat last night. Good morning, Jean. So I made that to look like a hanging photo or picture. And of course, this is a tentfold. Yvette, we had such a good time last night. Oh my gosh. Talk about laughing and sharing some great ideas on the team chat. So this is another sample. This sample, and I like to point out what I'm using, are those mountains with that second piece where you overlay it. So it's dimensional, like 3D dimensional. You can really see the snow-covered mountain. And here, the background does look like snowy covered houses, doesn't it? So I layered that on 4x4, and then these gems right here actually are opals, are oval opals that are in the annual catalog. From a very cold Wisconsin. Yes, it's very cold here. Not -15. Oh my God, Marlene. It's pretty cold in New York too. And this is what I meant when I cut this. I have this piece left over. And of course I did a double tie with the bow, with the ribbon. Wishing you so much happiness. But look at that scenery, and there's not much to, I mean, there's not much to do with this, but it looks so beautiful. And also don't forget the gems in the annual catalog. The next one I did was I used the In the Moment, and I made it look like a picture. So she's standing there looking at a picture, let's say maybe at a museum on a wall. Thinking of you. And these are the genial gems, also in the annual catalog, so you can mix and match your gems there. But you can see how she's standing there. The set is next on your list to get you. Oh my gosh, you will love this. Relax and enjoy your day. So again, she's looking at this sort of like maybe at a museum, and you can see right here, you can see the flowers. So you want to cut that. Let me show you this piece here so I can explain what I'm talking about. If I had cut it on this side, those flowers would have been hidden by her. So I had to cut it this way so that I could get the flowers right there. I think you have like four sheets of each designer series paper in that pack. So thank you, Yvette. I love it too. Thinking of you, relax and enjoy your day. The next one, and again, I used that In the Moment set. And this one is more like a window card. She's sitting there on the bed, reading, relaxing with her dog. And in the background, you see maybe a big window, and that's her cold outside, let's say. Here I used the houses and the trees, but if you notice, I used the embossing folder to give the trees some texture. There will be still shots on my blog later and on Facebook. And back here, you can just barely notice it, is the die that makes it look like a pond. And I did some Winkostella, so it looks like a lake, a pond, a lake. Joy, I'm loving every minute of it. Yes, you can pair this with any set. That's what's so great about it. And enjoy and relax and enjoy your day. Just breathe. That's what we all have to do right now, right? We all have to just breathe. Now, I do want to mention the dog. I used the blends here. And on this one, too, I used the blends. What I did was I wanted to test out our new blends. If you're a demonstrator, you can order those now. If you want to join my team now, you can get those. But these are the natural tone blends that are coming out in February. Light, medium, deep, and deep. Okay, they're a little bit different in the way that, let me just show you. They don't have names on them. What they have is numbers. Okay, so this is like number 300, and you can pair that up. This is number 600, which is probably this one. This one's probably over here. I'm going to actually label mine later, but you can mix and match these skin tone or natural tone blends. And I love these. Again, they will be available in February to customers. And that's what I used for the fence and the dog. So it gives you a little bit more option. I also used the, let's see which one I used here. I believe it was number 700 for the skin tone on her. Okay, so again, they have numbers on them. When they're available, I can also send you a download, which is a grid, so you can mix and match them and see which ones you like. Okay, so those are the two that I did. I love pairing those together. The next one I did, I paired up with the Grassy Grove. Let me just bring that one in. So Grassy Grove, I love this set. Great set by itself, but it matches, it goes really nice with this. Let me show you these dies. There's a lot of dies in here. I will be playing with this set again. I used the deer and I used this die right here. I am in love with this die. Hi, Susan. How was your move to Florida? Okay, so let me just show you that. So that piece I just showed you, I cut, and it gives you that background. I ran it through with the timber embossing folder, so it had some, and now it has some texture. And then I added the deer, and all I did was put some of that designer series paper in the back. And any of these papers would have worked, but I wanted more green here. I added, of course, the pebbles. Oh, thank you. And for the ribbon right here, instead of doing a bow, I just put 2 knots on either side of the word breathe. And there's that other stamp that looks like a sign. And of course I just put that down on my envelope. So that was pairing it up with the Grassy Grove. Now, I'm going to be honest with you today. I don't have anything planned. I have nothing planned. So we're just going to play with this stamp set. So the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is bring in one of these designer series papers. I mean, talk about winging it today. I'm looking at the papers, deciding which one I'm going to use. I don't know. Let's see. Oh my God, they're all so gorgeous. Okay, let me use this one. I know we're all ready for spring, but okay. So let's see what else I want to use. So with these dies, I'm going to bring in that die and this one because they overlap. And I'm going to bring in, I don't think I'm going to use the gates yet. Okay, let's just use those dies for a second. I'm probably going to do more than one card this morning. And if you don't have time, you got to work, you can always catch the replay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to bring in a piece of cardstock, figure out what color I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold that in half. I am really winging it. Oh, you're at work, Lisa. That's okay. I used to do that all the time. I'm going to bring in a piece of our basic white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut this down at 3 3/4. So this I can use for my envelope. Look at the background of this. It's so hard to figure out which one you want to use. This I'm going to cut down at 5 inches. You're going to see how easy it is just to do a quick card here. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. All right, so I already know I want that there. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a piece of white again. And I'm going to cut both of these out. So I am going to bring in my machine here. I might do this twice. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to show you today. I was gonna do some more samples last night, but like I said, we had our team chat and we had just so much fun. It ran a little late. Okay, so we're gonna bring that out. Now, you can use your adhesive sheets, but because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, I didn't use those. I'm gonna do one more. You should just go ta-da and done. Exactly. I don't have to do anything else but put a sentiment on there, Megan. You're absolutely right. Okay, so I'm going to grab this and this. I'm just going to put this aside because I may add more to it. Now, I'm just working with this piece right now. This falls out very nicely. Don't even have to use my... you know what I'm talking about, right? My mat. Okay. Now, I'm going to actually, this is the way it's cut, right? So I'm actually going to flip it for a second. Look at that. Okay, so this one is going to go on here. Let me see if I can do that. Let's just play with this one. And I'm going to bring in my silicone mat here. Get that going. Just going to dot a little bit of this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add that right on here. Not on the paper. My in-camera view, perfect. Okay, I'm going to add that. So that's going to go there. Now what I want to try doing, see if I can flip this. Okay, so you can, it's going to look a little different, but we're going to do it anyway. All right. So I'm going to do it on the opposite side. See how this comes out. Okay. Now, because it's on the opposite side, I'm actually going to layer it different. That's going to go. And I'm going to move those around a little bit so that I can see more of the mountains. So this one's going to go over here, I think, a little bit. I don't want to cover up those cute little houses. There we go. So I can, yes, I can do that. Okay, so now I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take my Stampin Seal. I'm going to have to cut a little bit of it off, but that's okay. I'm going to put that right here. This one I'm going to bring in, and I'm actually going to use Dimensionals for this one. And let's grab my Take Your Pick tool. There it is. Somebody's got an issue with Facebook Live. What's going on, Denise? I missed that comment. You know, technology is great when it works. It's also a pain in the butt when it doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move that down just a hair and over right here. Okay. I do have to grab another dimensional for that little guy, and that one I'm going to grab a mini. So what was Facebook's being a brat? So I missed what was going on. What happened with Facebook? You having an issue with it? It's hit or miss here. Some days it works great for months, and then all of a sudden it has a hiccup. I'm just going to push that right there. There we go. Okay, so that's that. I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's see if I can grab another little piece of... I am going to look for, do I have a light blue here? That's what I'm looking for in my stash. Yes, I do. Actually, I'm going to use this. Now I'm going to grab that lake die right here. Oh, they have a freezing issue. Okay, well, I'm looking at mine and everything looks good here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. All right. I'm going to add this. Right about here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Actually, I think I'm going to put it right under here. Right under there. Okay, now I'm going to cut this off because you can see it's hanging over a little bit. Oh yeah, sometimes it does make a difference if you're on your iPad, your iPhone, or a computer. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that off. Let's see. Do I have my Wink Stella here? I might not. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I want the Wink Stella on it. Let me just grab that. Oh, it's stuck. All right, hold on. My Wink Stella is stuck here. Let me just move that out of the way, grab that. All right. I'm going to add some Wink Stella here so you can really see that pond. There we go. So this is going to get layered right here. I'm going to take the, let's see, I think this is going to be a thank you card. Do I have a thank you on here? Thinking of you, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Thanks for everything. I'm going to bring in my Misty Moonlight. Again, one of my favorite colors. Going to put thanks for everything right here. And then I'm going to bring in those pretty ribbons. You got the pink and you got the blue. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those to the back here. I always put a little glue on the back to hold those in place. I'm going to bring those right over here. Get those in some kind of order here. All right, now I'm going to glue that down. Oh my gosh, you really can't go wrong with this set. It's just absolutely gorgeous. We're going to go ahead and glue that right here. Now I'm going to take, and you've probably seen me do this before, but I'm going to take 2 pieces of the ribbon together. And I always take more than I need, but it's easier for me to tie a bow. I'm going to take both of those. I'm going to flip it around because I can tie bows great when they're upside down. And then I'm just going to tie this in a bow. So first I'm going to do a knot because it is thin enough. And then I'm going to tie a nice little double bow here. Flip that around. And of course it didn't work for me that time. Let's do it again. Okay, let's do it this way. Fingers aren't working this morning. If you don't like the bulkiness of the double bow, you can do a single bow. Okay, so I want that right there. And one thing that you can do, if you don't like bow moving around, a little trick, take a glue dot or 2, just add it to the inside here. There it is. So you can add that right there and press that down. And then you can trim off what you don't need. So maybe I'll just trim that a tad or a smidge. And then I'm going to bring in my card base. I'm going to glue that down. Just lay that right on top of there. Bring in a piece of white. I'm not going to stamp a sentiment because, you know, I like to write my own greeting in there. So I'm just going to stamp that right there. Hi, Rita. And put that right inside there. You've got a quick, easy, but gorgeous thank you card. And of course I have this piece left over. So I'm going to decorate my envelope. I love this stamp. I use that on the ends of almost every one of them. And then you can use whichever side you want. I like to have it match. It doesn't matter that it's sideways. I'm going to put that right on here. Perfect. Good morning, Bonnie. Yes, everyone, don't forget to share my videos. Leave me a comment. You know I do giveaways. And I'll talk more about that at the end. And I do have a giveaway from the last video to one lucky winner. And there you have a nice, quick, easy thank you card. But look how gorgeous that is. Right? Oh my gosh. Okay. Excuse me. One more card we're going to do because I love these little guys right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out which paper I'm going to use for this. I think I'm going to use this paper. It's so gorgeous. Okay. So that's the paper I'm going to use. I'm going to take these two dies. I'm going to bring in a piece of our basic gray. And I am going to I'm going to do some texture on this. So I'm going to add the timber. And I don't think I have my plate here, so I might have to run over to the other side of the room and grab that. I just need, geez, my fingers really aren't working today. Okay, I'm just going to take that piece of cardstock. I'm going to run it through You always want to make sure your fold is going that way. Let me see if I can do it with this. I really need the other plate. Yeah, it's not fitting. Okay, so let me grab the right plate. Okay, so we want the number 4 plate. I try to cheat. Okay, we're gonna run that through. I gotta hold on to this. There we go. Okay. Move that over for 1 second because I'm gonna need it again. So now I have some texture and it looks like wood grain. I don't know if you can see it there. But now we're going to cut out these fences. Bring that back in one more time. And cut out the fences, and now it has some texture to it. Okay, there's my first little fence. Now this one is one, if I had planned the card out, I would have used the adhesive sheets. But since it's not really a planned card, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. So we're just going to take that out. Falls out very, very easy. I'm going to put these away before I lose them. And I have my fence. So let me bring in that paper again. Okay, so the fence, I mean, it's already cut so nice. You can put that right here, or you could put it right there if you want some more of the flowers. I'm going to actually put it over here so that I still see the flowers. But check this out. I found this last night, and this, of course, is to the tulip set, and it was just a piece I didn't use. And I'm thinking, I could probably use that here, right? Look. What do you think? Should I use it? I'm not going to use it because this paper is just too beautiful. But I'll save it and use it for another one. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, again, I want those really pretty flowers. So I'm going to cut off this end. I'm going to actually cut this at 4 inches. I'm not going to have a backing because I want as many of these flowers as I can get. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. let's see what color I have here. We've got a lot of green in there. Okay, so I'm going to grab a pink background, and I believe this is the Melon Mambo. Let me see if I like this background. I need something a little bit more vibrant, I think. Not sure I want that one. I got it. How about this one? Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, I think that one. What do you think? All right, let's fold that one. Okay. And then these are going to go right here. So I want the larger one over here because I don't want to hide too many of those flowers. Okay. So we're just going to take that, flip that over, grab some of my liquid glue, that right there, so I can still see the flowers over there. This is why I don't use liquid glue too often. I'm very heavy-handed with it. And I love the way this curves up here. I mean, even though it's flat, it curves up. It just looks so great. Before I do anything else, I'm going to put some of these little pebbles down here. So I'm going to build myself a little wall. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with the card yet. Just want to show you can make a little mosaic with this. The little pebbles. I need a smaller one there, so let's grab one of those. Up. There we go. The yellow, yeah, I think the yellow brings it out. Okay. Now, let me just see something here. I already glued that down, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so, I mean, that's beautiful just by itself, right? Let's look inside here and see what else we have. I'm going to take that die, and I am going to take that sentiment. Let's see, we're going to take this one. I'm going to grab a piece of... I'm going to use the very vanilla on this. I'm going to grab Sahara sand. Well, it's coming together for a card on the fly. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I literally didn't have anything planned. Okay, we are going to take Evening Evergreen right over the Sierra sand. Or Sahara sand, no, Sierra. And stamp Enjoy and Relax Your Day. Relax and enjoy your day. We're going to take that die. We're just going to cut that out. Make sure you have it going the right way. Got stuck on my finger. And I'm just going to take this to the side and cut it out. You've already seen me use that. You know what? It's easier for me to actually bring it in here and cut it out. So let's just do that. Don't forget, I'll be back Monday on YouTube Live, 7 p.m. Okay. Put that aside for a minute. Bring this in. Put that right there. And I think I'm going to play here. Let's do Let's do the little houses. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to do the little houses. What colors do I have here? I'm going to use this piece of crumb cake, which is just a scrap piece. So what you don't see me doing is running those houses through the embossing machine. This can go in the back here. You're looking at houses up on the hill, right? Okay. What do you think so far? Then I'm going to grab the trees. And I have a piece of soft succulent that I'm going to run that through. See how that one comes out. So many things you can do with this bundle. And I'm sure that on our Sweetalicious Funfold Club, I know we will, one of the months will be for this suite. Okay. All right, so now we have the trees. I'm gonna actually put those behind it. Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue these down. I'm hoping to do the video for my craft room on Sunday. It won't be live, it'll be a video, but I will, when I do it, I will put it on Facebook and YouTube. It's my craft room revamp. I got some new storage things. I revamped or repurposed some old ones. So I'm hoping to get that done on Sunday. I'm just going to put the houses right there. I'm going to take this, and I just want that tucked back there. So I'm going to go ahead and use my dimensionals. And let's see, I have the large ones right here. So let's grab some large ones. I'm going to lay that right on top of here, just like that. I'm going to flip that over. Just trim that off. So now I have this beautiful or cute little scenery. And then I'm going to grab again some of those stones or pebbles. And I'm going to do a little mosaic here so it hides that end piece. It was stuck on my finger. Put that one right there, and I'm going to grab one more, put it right here, and maybe one more gray one up here. So you can see I have made myself a scenery. I got the little pebbles. This is going to go right on here without another matted piece. Oop, got that down a little bit too far. Thank you, Linda. Okay, let's get that right up where it's supposed to be. Doesn't need a bow, doesn't need anything else but an inside sentiment right here. So again, we're going to grab, well, let's see, I'm going to grab the birds this time, and I think I've got I'm just going to put the birds there. Hopefully I did them the right side up. And how about thinking of you? And for that one, I'm going to use the soft succulent. There we go. And that's going to go right inside. Don't need anything else, do you? Thank you. Except for the envelope. So let's grab an envelope here, which is on the, there we go. And of course I've got that little piece. Now that's going to be a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is just put some glue right on the envelope part here. And just put that on there. And just leave a little strip here. That's fine. And there you have another quick, easy card with that beautiful paper. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to do one more. Again, if you have to hop off, just watch the replay. Okay, so for this one, let's look at what pieces I want to use. I might just use those tulips. Okay, let's see. That's kind of pretty. Actually, I think I will use that one. So they're all different that I'm using. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in that beautiful die from Grassy Grove. I'm going to bring in, let's see what color I want to use here. Okay, I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen. I'm going to cut that out. So let's bring that in. These two sets go together so beautifully. Okay, so we're going to cut that out. Three cards on the fly. Oh boy. I'm really challenging myself today. When you use that die, it comes out like this. And then those little pieces will come out. You're going to trim that. Okay, so we want this at 4 1/4. So you're going to have to trim off some of that. Okay, so I want this at 4 1/4. No, I don't. I want this at 5 1/4, sorry. 5 1/4. Forgot it's going the other way. This little piece didn't want to come out, so we'll just kind of play with him. Didn't quite get that. Let me just trim that off. Okay. All right, so that's going to go, look at this. So you can put that wherever you want. If you want more of that, I kind of like it right here. I want both. I want all the colors. So this is going to go right here. I'm just going to bring it in. Now you have to order this one. I know, but they go so nice. I'm just going to trim off part of that. Put that right about here. Yep. Okay. Make sure I just trim off what I need. Or you could do it this way, which would be about 4 inches. I'm going to do 4 1/4 because I don't want to shortchange myself at all. This, of course, is going to be 5 1/4. So that will match up. And then this is just going to be your background here. And then you can always trim it if it's too big. Look at that. Okay. So that's going to be part of the card. Now I'm going to bring in from the Grassy Grove, if I didn't lose them, my two little deer. Okay, got the 2 little deer. And I am going to cut those out with crumb cake to the side here. I'm going to have to order more of these papers because I don't want them to sell out because I love these. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop that out. And these little guys are going to go right in here, just like I showed you the other one. But I'm thinking, I think I want to use these tulips. So I'm going to kind of hide those. Let's see, what do you think? Too big? Oh, I don't think so. Let's see. I don't think so at all. I just want a little bit of this. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some liquid glue, just a little bit at the bottom here. I want to use this strip up. And I'm going to bring that in right about there. Okay, this is going to have to be cut off. I just want to glue it down first. Without the tulips, I'm going to do it with the tulips. I already did it. So let me show you what it would look like without tulips with a different paper. Okay, so it's similar to that, okay? But this one I'm using the tulips. Oh, you're welcome. I'm just going to trim that off. For this one, I'm going to put dimensionals on there. I want that up a little bit. I think a lot of us want more of this paper. Absolutely. If you get nothing else, get the paper. Yes, Jean, there are so many options with this. Okay, so we're going to layer that right on top here. You may not like the tulips, but I think I kind of do. Now, I'm going to put this guy right here. I'm going to use a dimensional for him. Kathleen Vincentor, how are you? I'm going to put that one right there. So you don't really see a lot of the flowers. That's why I wanted to use it. It just gives it a nice little background. And we'll use the, whoop, that came right off there. Let's put that back on. My little dimensional here. I'm going to tuck him behind here. Just following the mama. Okay, this one I didn't use the embossing folder. Now I can just trim this off. Because remember, I didn't really measure this, so I can just go in here and just trim what I don't want showing off. Isn't it nice that I can just take my time on Friday morning and I don't have to say, oh, gotta hop on the other computer. Just cut that off. Okay. There we go. I think I like it better with the embossing folder, but we didn't use that, so let's try the soft succulent background. Okay, so this is where I'm going to trim it now, so I have more of an edge, and I'm actually going to take it off from the top. Okay, now I want to do it at 4 inches. I didn't want to do that before because I wasn't sure which side I was going to take it off of. Now I want that background to show. So I can do that right there. Now again, I'm going to grab the ribbon. As soon as I find it on my messy desk here. Okay, well that's bizarre. All right, where's my ribbon? I might not be using a ribbon because I can't find it. Oh, you know what I found though? Nope. I'm not going to use that either. Changed my mind on that one. Oh, there's my ribbon right in front of me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's go ahead. I want the pink. I don't want the blue. I'm going to go ahead and add some ribbon here. So let me show you how I did this. I just took a knot. Yeah, by the time my desk, or where I'm doing the live, okay, is very neat when I start out my lives, okay? Oh my gosh, if you see it now, anybody else always feel like that's all they do is stamp and clean, stamp and clean. Okay, so I'm going to tie another knot at the other end. Everything doesn't need a bow. I can't believe I just said that. And there I have 2 knots instead of a bow. Okay, so we're going to put that over here. Glue that down. Now, if you don't want a lot of bulk, just trim that off. And then we're going to make sure it's straight. That's just to hold it down. Now, I will tell you that I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of this also. I really want this like a 3D effect, okay? So we're going to add a bunch of dimensionals here. This is why I said this card, I mean, I'm sure if there's a lot of fun folds out there with this, and I'll be doing a fun fold at some point for our Sweetalicious Fun Fold Club. But if you're not a fun fold person, you don't need it with this stamp set. Okay. I am going to bring in that little breathe, and I have some little pieces in my stash here. I'm going to take the soft succulent. I'm going to stamp breathe. You know what? Actually, I like this one better. Let's change that. I like this. These are just random pieces I had left probably from Paper Pumpkins. There we go. I'm going to bring in another piece of that pink ribbon. Just going to cut off a piece here. I'm going to thread that through with a loop. Tuck that in right here, just like that. I'm going to cut those off. And this is actually going to be right there. Again with the dimensionals. This is kind of fun doing cards on the fly. What do you think? You with me? Breathe. What one did we relax and enjoy your day? Okay, so I am going to grab I'm going to grab the very vanilla for this. And let's see what sentiment I want. Okay, it says breathe. Let's just say relax and enjoy your day. And then bring in that green. I think I just put my... Nope, I did it. Okay. And go ahead and glue that down. All right, and because I love those pebbles so much, we're going to bring in the pebbles and add some pebbles to that. And I think I need more pebbles. I was running out. What do you think? Do you work well on the fly? Thanks, thanks. It's a little nerve-wracking, but with this set, it really isn't because it's just so easy to work with. Okay, so let's do a little mosaic here. I know you probably don't want to use all of your doodads with one card, but this is really addicting doing this. It just looks so nice. Okay, so Oop, that one came apart. That does happen. A couple of them did that to me. Okay. I think this one right here would work. Oop. I need one more flat one. Stuck on my finger. Put that one right there. Just to add, you could actually go all the way across if you wanted. Okay. So Betty, there's going to be still shots on here as soon as I'm done with the video and I upload everything. And also Stampersdelight.com has still shots. So there is my third card on the fly. I can't believe I did 3 of them today. So let me bring the cards back in. Again, still shots will be on Facebook and my blog after this video. Okay, here's the other one. I'm going to go through these kind of quick. Here's the third one that we did, or the first one we did. And then the ones that I showed. Oh my gosh, look at all these cards I made. And I'm going to do the giveaway as soon as I'm done with this. So you want to stay tuned. And then this one. Great cards. I mean, just a great set. Okay, so the winner from Monday night is Stacy Banchetti. And Stacy, I never know if I say your name right. Stacy, I will get that mailed out to you. Just send me your address. Congratulations, Stacy. You won the last giveaway. I want to remind everybody, this is the giveaway I'm doing on Friday, February 4th, on my birthday. All you have to do is share my videos, comment on my videos, like my videos, give me a thumbs up, either on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching. And I'm going to give this little emergency stamp kit away. And I think I'm going to add some goodies into that. So anybody that is doing the sharing and the commenting and the thumbs up and checking me out on Facebook, you're in this drawing. Everybody's going to be in that drawing. Okay? The third one is your most favorite. Okay. And let's see, it looks like I'm losing my connection again. So we are going to get going here. Okay, so it looks like my internet's slowing down. Let me hop off, but let me say thank you all for tuning in. And until Monday night on YouTube, keep on stamping, Stampers. Bye.